for a lot of damage to our climate. It's costing us big time, but the union's very smart because long term it can cost jobs as well. And what's crucial here is these companies invest billions of dollars of private sector investment to start reducing emissions from coal.
The Newcastle City Council...
The union is pinning its hope on the clean coal technology.
That's a funny term, really, clean coal, but all it means is getting the CO2 emissions as close to zero as possible.
There are a range of technologies that are available to ensure that it has very low and in some cases zero emissions from the burning of coal. That's where we have to get to. It takes money.
Essentially, the plan is to take the CO2 gas out of the coal as it's burnt and bury it back underground into unminable coal seams, old oil and gas fields or saline aquifers. But the technology is untried commercially and still a long way off.
We won't even know if it works for another 10 to 15 years. Now, we need to act on climate change in 10 years, so we're not even going to know if CCS works until, frankly, it's too late.
Australian coal companies currently spend $300 million on clean coal research. That's not enough, says the union.
That represents about 15 cents a tonne. Now, for companies that are making billions of dollars profits, I mean, BHP alone made nearly $14 billion profit this year. That is far too small. It needs to be at least $1 a tonne, and we will be campaigning to have that increased.
The miners' unions hoping to mobilise overseas pension funds and others to pressure coal companies to invest $2 billion into the carbon capture technology.
Well, I'd be very happy to sit down and talk with the unions because I think I agree strongly with them. The big coal mining companies are not investing enough in cleaning up their act.
The Australian Coal Association, which is yet to see the union's new policy, says its present voluntary investment is what's necessary to fund current research projects over the next 5 years. But even if Australia's power stations did use clean technology, 3/4 of the nation's coal still goes to the big greenhouse polluters like China. Not our problem, says the union.
It would be like asking the Middle Eastern oil countries to take responsibility for US oil pollution.
With many scientists, though, now alarmed that earlier greenhouse projections were underestimates, environmentalists are warning time is running out.
Let's remember that every tonne of coal that we export from Australia comes back to us as climate change. It comes back to us as droughts, it comes back to us as water shortages, it comes back to us as sea level rises.
We get $25 billion in a year in export revenue. That is the biggest single commodity earner or export earner for this country. It would be economic suicide for the country to strangle that export. It's not going to happen.
That report